Okay, Tatiana, let's be having you. You're not getting me this time. You're not going to scare me this time. I know what's coming. Maybe. Who knows? Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I am a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now, if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on various other social media platforms, including Patreon, and I'll put the handles down below and over there. Oh, that was embarrassing. Anyway. So if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions, you can fast track reactions, become a reaction, there's special roles on my Discord server, and you have access to all sorts of bonus features like my wee rants and my outtakes and my Vocal Anatomy 101 series. So consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. Okay, I cannot believe I've not done a return reaction to this band Jinjer. Now, it was 2 million years ago, roughly, by my calculations, the last time I listened to Jinjer, and it was the Pisces video, where I think everyone's just told to react to it, and no one tells you what is coming. Well, at least they didn't in my case. And I got the shock of my life, and had to spend the next time kind of tripping over my tongue, trying to explain all these things that I was hearing when my brain was melting. So, I'm a little bit more prepared. And we're going to go and listen to Perennial live at Wacken Open Air 2019. So, let's go. I'm excited. My brain is probably still going to melt, but that is neither here nor there.
With the next song, we must say goodbye to you.
What's our last song?
But rather not goodbye, but see you next time.
Like funeral to me, along a song of grief, and not for what has passed,
so obviously that's a backing track,
but for what shall last.
Of her voice speaking. Yes!
Exhausted night, always so tragic and so eternal. Our world's spectacular shadows, ridiculous our sound. Death blows our slowly, crawling to our toes, as the last lift is falling apart.
Oh, her voice is insane! Oh, right, okay, so this is obviously, again, it's a type of metal scream. Now, the reason I had so much trouble describing this in the last video is because I think that I understand vocal anatomy slightly differently than what metal vocalists describe their screams as. For example, what they call a false chord scream, to me, isn't really engaging your false chords because your false chords close over your true vocal folds, which causes something called constriction. When you swallow, your false chords come over your true vocal folds and then your epiglottis comes over that. So it's like a closure thing. This is more akin to something that's like a relaxed kind of puff of air through the larynx, and then the false vocal folds kind of get flapped around, but they're not hugely like engaged, if that makes sense. So if you take the sound that like a teenager being sent to their room to clean it, like it's kind of like that, which is a very relaxed kind of place. I mean, it's pretty much just a sigh with displeasure. The way that Tatiana though can round this sound and darken it and deepen it is incredible. There's a lot of larynx lowering to my ear, which is where you kind of draw the larynx down, you get a deeper, darker, richer sound. So if you then went, you get like a deeper, darker roar out of that, if you like. There's lots more to hear though, so let's keep going and see if I can work this out in real time, which I probably can't, but let's go. Her clean singing is gorgeous. Now, You will hear a little bit of airy texture coming through there as well. That says to me that she doesn't use much retraction, which is pulling her false vocal folds away. So she's still getting that kind of air texture through her false vocal folds, if you like, but in a completely different way. It's very interesting to try and explain. There's also a little bit of kind of dropped larynx, so just like a tiny bit. It just adds to that sound of kind of importance, like ah, but she's pushing forward through this kind of nasal place as well. I'm trying to work out whether that's with the epiglottis or with her velum, which is your soft palate, kind of filtering a little bit of that tone up through her nasal passage, basically, to make that a little bit more buttery, a wee bit slippier, if you like. Oh, just her voice is amazing.
Wish I had all the eyes to make the landscape still the same. How long you'll walk, why I prefer to sleep like cold alone. We fix our eyes up to the sky to see if I said us farewell.
So there are points where she is getting that kind of clean sound where she's retracting those false vocal folds, and you can hear that the kind of air sound disappears. So that's getting like that proper forward tone that you would expect from, I don't know, like musical theatre maybe. So she knows how to manipulate tiny little parts of her voice. I mean, obviously, if she's doing these metal screams as well. Her clean vocals are just as good as her screams, in my opinion. There is just such an amazing control to her voice. Fantastic. Now, is this a Fry scream? Makes me think it could be. Fry is where your vocal folds are at their slackest and at their loosest, and rather than them vibrating to the air to make pitch, they bubble. Kind of the air just bubbles through. Ah, is it at the kind of lowest end of my voice? Ah, and then if you pull that up, you can get this real screamy kind of sound off of it. I feel like a bit of that was Fry scream and a bit of that was maybe false chord. Hard to tell. I'm still very, very new to metal screams in general and trying to learn as fast as I can. But it's just, that sounded a little bit more Fry-esque to me because you could hear that bubbly sound, and it was kind of pitchless at points. So, jury's out. I'm sure I'll be corrected in the comments anyway. Let's keep going.
Come back to celebrate this festival of life.
Then it's now.
Look at there.
Today I reached the point of no return. Now cry and then die. Tomorrow I will meet you with yourselves.
How dare she go from that really like roary, screamy sound to that gorgeous voice, like of her clean sound, so fast, line to line. How dare you? Wow. Fantastic. Oh, that was really, really nice. So what she's doing there, she's going into a thicker place with a lower larynx into a higher pitch with thinner vocal folds. So not only are you getting like higher in pitch, but you're also getting lighter on the folds. So it gives this, like the sound is floating away. It's really masterfully done. Fantastic. Oh, nice.
Total reconstruction. My biggest source of confusion. The reason of decay and disillusion. Under burning ties. just enjoying coma.
Okay, so this is her anchors coming into play. So anchors are muscle groups. You've got some in your neck and your head, and you've got some in your torso and into your lower kind of back. When these muscle groups are engaged, you kind of create a stable framework for your larynx to work within, so that you don't have to push as hard on your voice to get these bigger sounds. So she's getting more and more intense into that kind of riff, well, really extended long sequence of notes. You could see that she's just getting into that steady position and she's not moving. She's allowing her pectoral muscles and her lats to kind of come in and take a lot of that kind of effort rather than her voice box. So she knows what she's doing, obviously. Obviously she knows what she's doing. But yes, grand.
From the ashes of my rights, the new day will rise to it again.
Now that's telling. So we were talking about anchoring to make that bigger, kind of more stable sound. When she was doing that scream there, she was like floating around like a land jellyfish. The hell is a land jellyfish? Anyway, that kind of says to me that that is quite a relaxed place that she gets that sound from, rather than a completely like overblown like pushed sound. I feel like you kind of have to allow the voice and the voice box to relax in order to let everything shake, to make that huge textured sound. If you were to try and tense up, you would get a much more kind of like closed off sound from that constriction that would come from it. I'd love to talk to her and be like, just tell me exactly how you make this sound, please. So I can stop guessing. I said in my last video, and I got kind of panned for it, that I don't think that that scream is as loud as it would be perceived to be, versus like a belty sound. And I will still stand by that, because I think that you can kind of see there that it is a more relaxed sound than it is perceived as, which sounds like a massive, massive roar. But it's actually quite, not soft, that's the wrong word, but it's produced from a place of kind of letting everything go a wee bit limp, if that makes sense. Whereas the belt required everything to come in and stabilize that sound. Again, it's entirely an opinion, could be completely wrong, but I feel like it's not as loud as it's perceived to be. I think it's still pretty loud, but she's not gonna like destroy her voice doing it, which is what you would get if you were like properly like screaming in a fight kind of situation, for example. Anyway, that was confusing. Let's keep going.
This is poetry of you. This is poetry of me and you. From the ashes of my life, the new day will rise to live again. This is poetry of you. This is poetry of me and you.
Thank you so much, fucking. Well, we've
Thank
heard
you
a
so
lot of
much.
great things.
I am lost for words. That voice is insane. Incredible. Tatiana, tell me how you do that, please. If you are on YouTube, come and tell me, please. So yeah, I can't believe it's taken me that long to go back and listen to them again. There is so much more in metal screams that I need to really get into learning. I said it in the last video and I'll say it again. If you want to get into metal screams, find somebody that specializes in it and don't just thrash away at your voice, because you could hurt yourself. There's people like Mary Z and Tony Linke and Melissa Cross off the top of my head. So there are people that are really geared up for metal singing, and go and find them, because you won't regret it. The voice is precious and it's delicate, and you don't want to wreck it. You want to smash it like Tatiana. So I hope you liked that reaction. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you will be the first to know. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And how are we going to buy this one? I ain't screaming because I've got a cold and I can't scream. So, I mean, those are two reasons. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me and goodbye. Goodbye. Bye. Bye.